Big welcome to you, Cancer. This is your tarot reading for the month of September. Eyes immediately drawn to the outcome, which is the top right, the Devil card, unhealthy attachments and addictions. What's it all about, eh? I'm not sure, but I don't like that card as an outcome, that's for sure. I've just read Aries. Just read Aries tarot, and that attachment was an attachment to your possessions, an attachment to money. The world is changing quickly, and I'm getting plenty of messages that we're all too attached to money because judgment is coming against those who've been greedy and deceived us. I don't know if that's how I should read this, but you see, if we look at the central card, we have the Magician there, suggests you manifesting something. I think you've been manifesting money myself. I don't know. Like so many of us, you look bottom right, you look to the recent past, and it's sort of a golden age, and a golden age of working together with others and happiness. But right now, you've got the bit between your teeth. You've found a direction, you've found a balance, and you're going somewhere quickly. The Chariot card. Now, normally I'd see it as a very good energy, but I'm not half getting messages that you don't want to have too firm a direction at the moment. And maybe you know this because you then moved in the future to the Page of Wands, who's seeking out things. Oh, seeking action, no, seeking action rather more so than ideas, yes. Yes, wanting to control things, wanting to do things. The opposite of that is we, and this is the card that leads to the outcome, is the Four of Cups. This is a quiet contemplation, and I normally see this very positively. It can mean missed opportunities, but I heard another tarot reader describing it as things that, missed opportunities, but things that should have come to you aren't coming to you. I don't know, maybe that's how I should see it. But it's never how I've seen it. I've always seen it as being good to be quiet and contemplated. Yes, you let a few things slip, but, maybe you need to. Do she might be right in terms of your particular reading. Because the card that changes the outcome, and remember the outcome isn't a great outcome because it's the Devil card. The card that changes the outcome is the Ace of Swords. Now this is inspiration, this is ideas, this is new ways of thinking. So you need to change your way of thinking to avoid this devil. And the devil is definitely attachments, addictions maybe even. And I think it is about money. Yeah. Fascinating, isn't it? Well, please stay with me. What I would say to you is that you have free will. If as a result of listening to this reading, you can see a way of using some of these energies to your benefit and avoiding others, then you can change your fate. You really can. So stay with me to find out more. Overall energy, the energy running through all the other cards is this Magician card. I mean, the traditional understanding of it is that you're manifesting, and I think that's how I should read it, that you are manifesting money. Some other tarot readers go mad at me for suggesting this, but it can mean magic. Can even indicate you're a victim of black magic, but I don't think this does. I think it's about you, and I think you're manifesting money. I think you're looking for a shortcut to money, looking for a shortcut to riches. And, I can understand how people feel that way. But what I've got to tell you is, now is a time of judgment, for sure. Absolutely certain about it. And those people who've lied to us, who've cheated us, who've been greedy, they are about to get mightily taken back by the universal God. So, I'm advising everybody to stop manifesting money, to stop doing these things, because you will get caught up in it all. I mean, don't get me wrong, this karma, if you like. It's not precision. It can happen through things like tsunamis, earthquakes, natural disasters, whereby the innocent get caught up as well. So if you have any of this on your hands, I wouldn't be doing it, is what I'm saying. Now, maybe I've got this wrong, so wait on. But if you have been manifesting money, I think it's the wrong thing right now. Good many of us are looking to the past like it was a golden age. And I think to a certain degree you're no different. You're looking to the past as an age when you used to work with others to achieve things, work in a team. Things seem to gel better then. And I do get the feeling that you become much more individualistic. So even though you're regretting this change, it's something that you've done yourself as well. I mean, as I'm sitting in here recording this, the what we'd call a bin man, the rubbish collector, has just tapped on the door because he spotted me, and so he's tapped on the door. But he wouldn't even speak to me. I mean, it's always, they see a white face and they assume I've got no Barca Indonesia whatsoever. So he asked to speak to my wife, and he was just demanding some extra money because of we'd been away and the girls hadn't been putting a litter out as much as they should, And to be honest, he probably deserves it. But, everybody's getting so individualistic and greedy, and I was recording this for God's sake, like he's the only person that matters in the world, and we're all becoming a bit like that, aren't we? And I think that's what this card is about. I think it is. We now have the Chariot card, and I'd always interpret the Chariot as a great card to have. This is in your current energy. But I've been getting so many messages from the universe that having too strong a sense of a direction right now isn't a good thing. We need to be flexible. We need to be open to new ideas. And the Chariot suggests that, you've thought about things, you've got a sense of balance, a sense of purpose, and you're moving there very quickly. And I think the reason I've been getting the warnings is that so many people are moving in the wrong direction. Because they're basing the direction they're going in on how things have been in the past. And for certain, the future's not going to be anything like the past. And as I say, there's going to be retribution from God or the universe, whatever way you want to see it. So repeating the behaviour of the past might not be in your best interest. No, I'm not going off on one now, so I'll shut up. And your future, it's in terms of this reading, it's page of wands, I think it's a similar energy to the Chariot energy. It isn't normally, but I think in terms of this reading it is. Because this is you wanting to do something, an imperative for action. It can mean looking for ideas, inspiration, but it's more of an action card than that. You wanting to do something, and to a certain degree this retribution from God or the universe is a retribution over greed, yes, but over man's attempts to control everything. And although, you look at the card, well, she's quite coy, isn't she? She doesn't really know about what it is that she wants to do. But beneath it all, there is this sort of desire to control things, to get things under control. And that isn't the way to be. Not now, at least. And the energy that leads to the outcome is the Four of Cups. And I said in the prefix, I always see this as a good card, really. I mean, there's no good and bad in tarot, and each card has good and bad energies in it, but I often think, and particularly at times like this, it's good to contemplate things, it's good to look at things. Yes, you'll miss a few opportunities, but at least you're sorting your head out. What's going on? Why is it going on, you know? Yeah, but I think you've got a feeling of missed opportunities, and that's what we should read into this card. You're feeling about what might have been, that you're losing out on something, and hence this imperative for action. I'm going to have to get some clarity. This card leads to the outcome, and the outcome is the Devil, which clearly isn't good. We'll see. Now, what would change the outcome is the Ace of Swords, which is you getting some inspiration, some new ideas. And that's the difference with this sort of Page of Wands card. The Page of Wands card is you sort of wanting to do something but not knowing what it is. This is you getting this inspiration. And I don't think you had that inspiration for that Chariot. I think the Chariot was probably taking you in the wrong direction. So this spark of inspiration is what you really need. But, well, as I say, you have free will. If you listen to this and take heed, then you will look for this inspiration. And rather than a desire to act, it's a desire to find out what's really happening. Yeah. Outcome is the Devil, which suggests to me unhealthy attachments or addictions. And that comes about from that time of contemplation whereby you're missing opportunities. Why would you get an addiction? Well, I suppose if you're just standing by watching the world go by and thinking, we're being bombarded with fear porn, aren't we? We're having crisis after crisis. Now, I've heard a rumour about September, and I'm not going to repeat it because, well, number one, there's far too many of these sort of sea theories around anyway. But number two, I don't trust that many of the sea theories, I think, are coming from those in power, not from the underprivileged, They're coming from powerful forces that want to shape our minds, hence the fear porn. So if we think things are bad, then things will be bad. And maybe that's what this addiction comes from. You thinking, oh my God, this is happening, that's happening. And you become obsessed with something. I mean, it could be anything. It could be obsessed with fear porn itself. It could be listening to my tarot readings, Or it could be alcohol. It could be narcotics. Goodness knows, But it's not a great outcome, that's for sure. But I want to get to the bottom of it. I think, if I'm truthful, it's an addiction to your possessions, an addiction to making money, an addiction to money itself, and that's exactly what's going to get swept away very shortly, very, very shortly. Well, the signs have already begun. I don't know if you can see them, but I can. Anyway, I'm going to get clarity on this card before I say too much. Want clarity on this Devil card, and the cards we get, the first card we get is the Hermit, and I'll return to it. Second card we get is the Wheel of Fortune, and the third card we get is the King of Wands. Now what's so very interesting is the Hermit is not that unlike the Four of Cups, that quiet contemplation. Well, the Hermit is you going inside yourself looking for answers. And the King of Wands is the entrepreneur. But he's, he's a bit cleverer than the Page of Wands, but, he's just up from the Page of Wands. So it is this imperative for action which is causing the problem for you, causing this addiction. And the Wheel of Fortune card is that a cycle has ended. But I think you've not learned from the cycle. You should be getting good luck from this Wheel of Fortune. But I don't think you are. I don't think you are. I think you're repeating a cycle. And that's where the problem lies. Now, as I've kept saying, you have free will. You can listen to this and identify with it and use the energies for your benefit if you can, if it's having resonance. Let's look at each individually. Of clarity in terms of this potential for addiction is the Hermit card, which I always see as a very good thing, because it's good to go inside yourself and look for answers. And this particular hermit, you can see he's turned his back on the City of London, which is exactly what I think you need to be doing. But I think, I don't know, maybe you're overthinking. Or maybe you've gone inside yourself looking for answers, and the answers you're getting back are the wrong ones. How terribly interesting, because we all assume that if we can unlock our subconscious, we get the right answers. I've just got this feeling you're getting the wrong ones. Yeah. Why would you getting the wrong answers from your intuition? Well, I do have an answer for you here. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. You've been through a cycle, and what you've not done is learn from it. So the point of these cycles is, you go through a cycle, you come out the end, something nasty maybe happens in a cycle. Could be something good, but you go through a cycle, you come out the other end, and if you've not learned, you're going to repeat the cycle. And often you blame others. You say, well, why did that happen? Why did it? Oh, it was their fault. It was that. It was this. It was that. Instead of understanding in yourself that it was yourself, you can change it all. And I think that's it. You see, normally you would get some good luck with this, and you might have had some good luck. You might have had some good luck as a result of a cycle coming to an end. But you're repeating the old cycle, and the old cycle is about money. The old cycle is about greed. And yeah, you've got an attachment to money, that's what it is. An unhealthy attachment to money. It's not the miser card. This is more like an addiction. The Romans used to say, and I believe that one of my heroes, Ibn Arabi, says something very similar. But let's go with the Romans, that having money is like drinking salt water to quench your thirst. If you have money, you can never have enough. And I think you're on that trap. You're addicted to money itself, not even to possessions. You're just addicted to money itself. That's the problem. The final card of clarity is this King of Wands, who's the natural entrepreneur. Now, you might not be in business, it might be a side hustle. Goodness knows what it is. Here in Indonesia, so many people, I don't know if I mentioned it in this reading or the last, but the banks are giving out loans that they really shouldn't, people can't pay them off. But people are, going to the banks with sort of a business idea, which probably isn't that good. And when I say business, I'm just saying making chicken soup and selling it from the roadside, But they're being given money on that basis, and then the business doesn't work, and the banks come heavy with them. And generally speaking, they end up at my doorstep asking for money to pay the bank back. And it's like, I'm not a bank, Anyway. So, yeah, you're in this trap. And entrepreneurs, I've been an entrepreneur, and you do have to have something of an addiction, but it's an addiction to doing things right. If your addiction is simply to making money, then it's not going to work out so well. And I think you're addicted to the money rather than addicted to the service you provide, or, addicted to doing something well. No, you're addicted to making money. Yeah, unfortunate. Anyway, we can summarise for you, Cancer. Cancer, there's no real delicate way of saying this, so I'll have to come out with it. You've become addicted to greed. It's greed for the sake of greed. It's money, not because you enjoy the pleasures of life, but just to have more. And unfortunately, you've got this addiction at completely the wrong time, because right now, the universe, God, or whatever you want to say, is punishing, and it's going to get worse and worse. Punishing the greedy, punishing those who try and control things, punish those who lied to us, etc., etc. So this is the I can understand people being greedy. We're all greedy from time to time, but this is so the wrong time to be doing it. And in the past, you used to work with others, but you've become much more selfish. And you think you've got the bit between your teeth, you think you know where you're going. You've been manifesting money, in fact, And you're trying to control things. You're trying to be too controlling. Whilst at the same time, you are looking for answers, but you're overthinking. And a cycle had come to an end, but you've not learned from that cycle. You're going to repeat it. Now, I'm not saying that the retribution that you're going to get from the universe or God is going to be anything like as bad as some people. I mean, I've no idea. But I don't get the feeling that it's going to be that bad. No, you're just going to be left with an addiction to money. And I say it's an addiction to money, not possessions. It's money for the sake of money. And, even that in itself is, it's not a pleasant place to be, is it? Any form of addiction isn't a good thing. And I don't know if you are an entrepreneur. I don't know if you are in business, or it's just side hustles, or it's just the way you lead your life. But yeah, it's not healthy what you're doing, and it's particularly not healthy right now. And now, if instead of trying to control things, you were to get an inspiration, you could change all this. Maybe even listening to me, and goodness knows, I don't suppose many of you listen to me and think, oh my God, he's right, I'll change my life. But if in doing so you do change your life and realise, no, money isn't the answer. It's not about greed, it's about love, it's about working with others. If you can understand that, then you can change your trajectory, you really can. But there's every sign that you're not going to, that you want to control, you want to be greedy, and yeah, people are going to be punished. And you will be one of them. I don't see it that bad, but you will be one. That's for sure.